let's get out of schedule for a sec. Talk about Will Metscher, who helps people get the fuck out their own way. Move, bish. Get out the way. Go work with Will. Okay, back to work. Boom. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Ponytails Podcast. I am Andres Gamboa, the host of the show. Welcome, everyone. If you are a book person, you probably already know what this is about. If you're not a book person, if you don't even know what the hell I'm talking about when I say book person, well, buckle in. This is going to be a wild ride. The Ponytails Podcast, um, we interview people who did one of the craziest internships you can possibly do in the world. It's pretty bananas. So there's a company called Southwestern Advantage. They were started like right around the Civil War, and they've been around since. And they recruit college kids to go sell books door to door to families to help them with homework. But they do it for 80 hours a week from Monday through Saturday, like literally 7:30, 8 a.m. to 9:30, 10 p.m. And they do this in between their semesters of college during the summer. They go make money, they go travel a ton, and they grow a ton. But naturally, because of that and because of the door to door nature, we have some wild stories to tell from people's time out doing so. So, hope you guys enjoy. We've had people from all sorts of different walks of life, people who did this in 1968, to people who just got done this last summer doing this. And so, that is something that we are super pumped about. And today, what up, everybody? We're going to do a quick jockey spotlight with Cardinal Cedar Benefits. We're off schedule for a quick minute from the episode. Hope you're enjoying it. Take a sip of your beer. Yeah, that's good. Cardinal helps old people when they're dying because they help them with their final expense insurance. So the senior market is well taken care of for how expensive it is to die. It's a lot. Back to work. Today is no different. A couple of things if you guys want to support. If you're a book person and you're like, this is sweet, how do I get more? We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Go subscribe, follow, like, all that shit. Support us that way if you don't want to do it financially. If you do want to do it financially, we have a Patreon. We also are a monetized podcast. We have sponsors, all of which are book people, which is super awesome. We love working with our jockeys, as we affectionately call them here. If you guys want to check out some of our other stuff, so maybe upcoming episodes or some other things that maybe I haven't mentioned on here, go to our website. That's theponytailspodcast.com to get more information. You can get merch. You can learn all about this. Contact us if you want to be a guest. All that jazz. Go on to there for sure. So, really quick, I want to introduce our guest for today. I'm excited. We have Aimee Wasserman with us here today. I hope that you guys are as excited as I am. This season 7 has been a blast, and I'm just trudging along with all these awesome guests that we've had so far. Aimee sold 3 summers with the Eagle Blitz organization. This is our like third or fourth in a row that we've had from the Eagle Blitz organization. So that's interesting. Come on, everybody else. JYD, Force, TD, step up. She went to the University of Florida in Gainesville, wonderful town. Partied there a couple times with my man Alex Black, and she's originally from Port St. Lucia, Florida. Her favorite scroll from the Augmendino Bible, essentially, that we read, is number 3. I will persist until I succeed. And how can it not be? I mean, it's really the crowd favorite, and I really, on any given day, that's one of my favorites too. But without further ado, when we come back in a few 10 seconds, we will be on with Aimee. See you guys in a bit. Ponytails Podcast. What's up?
Hello.
How's it popping? How's it going?
Good, good. I got my wine. I'm really excited. I'm ready.
Yes. I will do a shot with you. Do you want me to do a shot where you take a sip of wine so we can get in the right mood? Let me get my.
Let's do it.
Oh, 1 second. Let me get this. All right. Here we go. Here we go. And I still have this. People who watch this like religiously or like who watch this back to back or in order will notice how I just go through our bottles of liquor. So here we go. Let me take a shot of vodka. I'm down to vodka. I need to go get some more. Ooh, that might be more than a shot. All right. Good news. Here we go. This is Swedish vodka. So what should we toast this to?
Toast it to podcasts
To
and good vibes.
podcasts and good vibes. I'm fucking with that. Let's go. Ah, thank you. This vodka's good. All right. Well, welcome to the show. Happy that you're here.
Yeah, happy to be here. I literally thought your vodka was water when I saw the
Oh,
bottle.
Oh no, this is look at that. Svedka. We can't be supporting Russia at times like these, so we went to a Swedish vodka. It is what it is. You've heard of the news, right? um,
Yes.
so let's jump in. I mean, this is so cool for people who don't know. I mean, if this is your first episode, I'll keep repeating this. If this isn't your first episode, you guys already know this, but we don't do any pre-approach here. So the way this is going to work is it's literally like we're just going to dive in and start talking about some life and some shit. So let me dig in with what I normally start out with, and let me know. Tell me about your life, Aimee, from when you left Southwestern. Maybe if you want to, you can tell us why you left Southwestern. But that could be a story for later down the road or for another time. And then just walk me through what you're up to in October of 2022.
Yeah. So since Southwestern, I've done a career in technology sales. So I did Oracle for 2 years, and now I'm at a smaller company. You may have heard of it. It's called Upside. So it's a cashback app for fuel,
Yeah.
grocery, and restaurant. I know a lot of book kids use
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. Upsides of shit.
yeah. So I do sales for them. So if you want to download it, get some cash back on gas, pretty cool.
That is legit. Oh, I haven't used this since I moved to Portland because I forgot to. Oh my gosh. You just reminded me of this. We should have had you on the show years ago. Dang it.
Save some
So,
money. Save like
hell
$20,
yeah.
$30.
That's crazy. It's true and it works so well. So how the hell did you get into this? Did you know that this is what you wanted to do as soon as you left, or did you kind of stumble up upon it?
Yeah, I kind of stumbled into it with Southwestern. It gave really great experience going into sales, and technology sales is really great for growing your career and getting a lot of experience in the business realm. I studied philosophy in college, so I needed something that, aside from philosophy to get me into business. It definitely was very helpful with that. And have been doing that ever since, and living in Austin with my dog. And
Excuse me, off schedule time. Has anybody seen how bumpy Seth is lately? He's pretty bumpy. Elevate Wellness is his company along with Zane Gallagher, and they are helping people elevate their minds, their bodies, and their life. So, on that note, make sure you call us and you can be bumpy like them, which is he's pretty bumpy.
my
Let's
brother,
go.
and I love it. So
That is so fun. So, what do you think are the biggest differences that you've noticed in selling tech stuff versus selling like door to door books? And what are some of the similarities?
it's definitely very different. You have to cold call via phone. You set meetings virtually or in person. So sometimes you get to fly out to actually meet with clients, which is pretty cool. You get to get paid and go to different states. So got to go to Kentucky, California, also Florida. So been able to travel and get some points as well.
Hell yeah. That's so cool. And do you think that like from your time with Southwestern that it had prepped you with everything you needed, or was there other stuff that you've learned since then that you kind of had to add to your arsenal or tool belt of sales and skills?
I think Southwestern definitely did prepare me a lot in overall, just really grinding, being competitive, having good schedule, having good discipline. Um, I would say maybe just a little bit more of the business acumen that comes with like a corporate role or a role outside of Southwestern would have been helpful.
Oh, like what do you mean? Are you talking about like from the yeah, I think I know what you mean, but walk me through what you think what you're talking about.
So probably just like how to dress, how to act in like business professional settings.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely very like Southwestern's very like college focused, right? So maybe like professionalism with business acumen and like talking to other people that I guess in the terms of business.
I understand what you mean now. So even like when someone sits down with you and they start throwing like these acronyms at you, you're like, all right, what's our CAC? What's our SEO? What are we doing for our blah blah? And you're like, huh? Like, what do you mean? And so that I feel like those are some verbiage that people who have been in the professional realm or corporate world understand much more fluently than maybe someone who just got done. And their things more like we got to go back to the HQ, never go back to the HQ. It's right. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and then they're gonna think like, okay, the HQ, like you're talking about California, like San Francisco, like what do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And Austin's like the perfect town for that, for like tech companies right now. It's like it's becoming more of a Silicon Valley than even San Francisco. Is that right? Or have you noticed that?
I have, yeah, it's definitely very techy. A lot of Californians moving here, but great city to live if anyone's ever thinking about it.
Yeah, but it's too hot. I feel like it's too hot in the summer. It's brutal, man. How do you deal with it?
Being from Florida was pretty easy. I mean, it was over 100 degrees this whole like summer, so it was pretty brutal, but that's why you travel to other places during the summer.
I mean, I guess it's just a different lifestyle for sure, for sure. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for the Formula One Grand Prix, which by the time this airs, it probably already would have been. But yeah, I'll be down there. It's gonna be a blast.
Heck yeah, that's gonna be so fun. And we'll hang out, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, maybe we'll run into Elon Musk or Joe Rogan or something.
Yes, exactly. They both live here, so
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
that's so dope. Have you been able to go to see any like comedy shows? Maybe Joe Rogan's right there just doing a comedy set.
I haven't seen Joe Rogan. I have gone to a couple comedy shows, but I did meet this guy that I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but he does like a poker business with like tech execs in Austin. And Joe Rogan has like played poker in his business, kind of like a Molly's game situation.
Whoa! I mean, we don't know who that is, but so that's fun that you say it. But that's crazy.
Hmm.
First of all, what a film, but also that's bananas. And so it's essentially that where these rich people just come show up and play poker, and it's put up by this dude.
Yeah, so they put down like 10 grand for like one, or I think they played up to like 10 grand a
Oh, that's crazy.
coin or something like that. I was like, whoa. And then they have like their own bar and it's like in his apartment. It's like pretty chill.
You got to hang out in there, or you just met the
Yeah.
person? Oh,
Yeah, no,
whoa!
I got to go. And
What?
he was
What?
like,
How did
oh,
this
is there
happen?
okay, so my friend, who's also a book girl, like she met this guy in Austin and she was like, hey, like, let's come to this pregame, we'll go to this after party. And then I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, meet new people. We pull up. They have like a full bar in their apartment, like a full bar, like all these drinks, full bar. And then we were like, oh, what do you guys do? And they're like, well, it'd be easier to explain if we show you around the apartment. And you go upstairs and it's like they have like a menu and then they have this full poker table and they have like a back room for like meetings and they have like a set menu like online that you can scan and it's like pretty legit. It's like it's pretty crazy.
What the fuck did you? Okay, at first were you like, we're gonna die? Was there any part of you that was like, this
No,
might end up in?
no,
You were all
I
set.
wasn't
You were
like
like, this.
that.
Oh, I mean, I feel like if some guy starts showing me around and he's got like a full blown poker table and bar, I'm like, well, this is where scary people come do business. This is.
Probably. And he wouldn't tell me like other people too. He like gave me like a couple names. He's like, I can't talk about these other people because like I told them that I wouldn't say if they're tech executives in Austin. I'm like, okay, like but he did say they might have
That's
a ladies'
crazy.
night. So maybe I'll plan a ladies' night with other tech women executives in Austin. Who knows?
Yeah, that's awesome. That is so legit. Wow. So anyway, okay, so back to this, your current role and what you're doing. What is the future for you then? What does it look like? I mean, are you trying to stay in tech sales, be like a manager? Are you trying to be a recruiting person for Upside? Or are you trying to take over and be the CEO? What's the North Star here?
Yeah, so my dream is actually to run my own company one day, and I have a plan for another application in tech.
Cool.
So I'm really passionate about traveling, so it's going to be travel oriented.
Very cool.
But want to travel a bunch first before I get that going. But that's ultimately the goal is having my own company, probably in tech, referring to travel.
That is cool. What's your favorite place you've been to in your travels?
So whenever I get that question, I always say something different because I just have an appreciation wherever I go. Um, but when you ask me that question now, I really like Israel a lot. Israel's
No
cool.
way. You want to know something trippy? Well, so we started like 15 minutes late, right, to record because I was taking care of my dog. His nail got all bad because we were at the dog park, and at the dog park, I met a lady who was from Israel, and she was
Oh,
telling me how I
cool.
needed to travel. So this is the second time in like 6 hours that I've been told Israel is a great place to travel.
It's a sign. You got to manifest it.
Isn't that?
Got to
You
go.
think so, right? I mean, there's I don't know if you believe in God or not, or the universe or whatever, but this is how life is. Like, hey, I'm trying to tell you something, so maybe I need to make a trip to Israel.
You
What did you
should.
recommend? What did you recommend? What did you learn? What are the do's and do nots of when you go to Israel, and maybe what are the misconceptions that people might have, since all we see on the news is something bad?
Yeah. I mean, I went on Birthright. So it's like a 10-day trip for people who are Jewish or have Jewish
Mm-hmm.
heritage. So I
Right.
got to go for free, which was, I'm very grateful for. But my favorite part was when I hiked up the Masada Desert in the morning, get to watch the sunrise. So that's pretty cool. Um,
Whoa.
so definitely a bucket list type item. It was very
Wow.
beautiful.
Is there a picture of this, or were you kind of like not on your phone and trying to be present,
I
or
do have
both?
a picture. It was taken in 2016, so it's like back there a little ways, but I do have a photo. It's really beautiful.
Okay. I might try to hunt it down on Instagram so we can show it later, because that's cool. I like showing pictures of people doing cool shit. So, do's and don'ts. All we got so far is one: be Jewish.
No,
So
you
be a
could go
Jew.
there and not be Jewish.
Be a Jew. Or if you're not a Jew, you could just go for fun. But also huge if you're a Jew. So great. And then
Yeah, gotta go for free if you're Jewish.
that's pretty legit. I have a couple of friends who have done that, who've made that trip on Birthright. That's pretty cool. Can you explain maybe to people who might not be as familiar, and how I'm probably going to learn some stuff while you're talking about this, but what does that mean and how does that work? Because that's kind of intense, or not intense, but like as a person who's not a Jewish person, like if you were to tell me, oh, if you have this descent or this something about you historically, we're going to pay for you to come and check out the history of this. That's such an interesting concept. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like a bunch of really rich Jews were like, hey, we want people to learn about the homeland and just considering everything that happened in um, World War II with the Holocaust and how, traumatic and
Yeah.
how much pain that the Jewish people went through. I think it was just a way for people to feel more connected because I think a lot of the Jews that are left, they feel very distant from their heritage. Even myself, I didn't grow up super Jewish. I only had one Jewish parent, and that was my dad, which in
Hmm.
conservative Jewish religion, you're not considered Jewish unless your mom is Jewish.
Oh, see, I didn't know
Um,
that.
yeah, but it's like only in the Orthodox sense, like
Oh,
every other Jewish place of worship, it's fine. But um, yeah, so it's just a way to get closer to your heritage and definitely a really amazing thing. I know that I read that there is one that's starting for African Americans, which I think would be an amazing thing if that got
wow.
funded. Like, how cool would that be to be able to go to
Yes.
Africa if you're African American and experience like your heritage and your people? So I hope that comes to fruition for sure.
That's so cool. Yeah. I'm game. That's sweet. Okay, couple of things on that. So in the Orthodox Jew, like, religion side of it, so you're saying that they only consider people to be Jewish if their mom is Jewish. Okay, that
Mhm.
okay, fair, sure, or whatever. That's okay. But I know that, when we're talking about the Jewish culture itself, there's like the religion, but then there's also like the ethnic, like, identity, right? There's people who don't identify Jewish, like they're Christian but Jewish, or whatever. Like, at least to me that I've met, they're like, no, 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 like I don't believe in the Jewish religion, but I have Jewish ethnicity, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Uh, how do I identify with that, and how does you do identify with both, or how does it fit into your life and heritage?
Yeah, I would definitely consider myself Jewish ethnically. And it's really cool because I feel like Judaism is one of the few religions where it can be an ethnicity as well.
Yeah.
I definitely am learning more about the religious side of Judaism. It's definitely, a process and a journey that I'm doing on my own.
Mm.
But definitely very excited for how that progresses.
Yeah, good for you. And obviously after that trip there's like an awakening in a way, right? That you that you start understanding and you start identifying more and more, right? Like, and so what has that done for your identity since you went, and maybe like how does it apply today for you?
Yeah. Definitely feel more connected to being Jewish. I felt very much like I wasn't Jewish because I didn't grow up very Jewish. I didn't have a bat mitzvah. We didn't
Oh.
celebrate that often. We only celebrated Hanukkah, which is like not a relevant Jewish holiday. People assume it is because it's right by Christmas, but it's not. Um,
Mm.
it's more like Rosh Hashanah or even Yom Kippur that are the more important holidays. But definitely felt more close to the religion, and I've made more friends that are Jewish. I have some friends from Birthright I still keep in contact with. I actually went to
That's
Spain with one of
awesome.
them, so that was pretty cool. So definitely like lifelong friends as well.
Wow, that is so cool. Oh man, good for you. That's exciting.
Thanks.
That's so fun. So Israel is probably your favorite place that you've traveled, to answer that question. uh,
Yes.
that's cool. Now I know you've been to Colombia. How does that rank? Are we let the people know how does Colombia rank
Yes.
among coolest places to go
Oh, definitely the coolest. I usually say that as my number one, but
to?
since I know that you're also
Nice.
Colombian, no, I'm half Colombian as well, so I try not to let my bias get in the way. But no, I love Colombia.
Wait, you're half Colombian?
Yeah,
This onion just got sweeter. We're peeling back some layers here. It's like, what? This is juicy. What the
yeah.
hell, mom or dad? So your dad's a Colombian
uh,
Jew, or your dad's a Jew and your mom's Colombian?
yeah, the second one. Dad's a Jew, mom's
Ah,
Colombian.
dude, your dad's got good taste. Let's
Yeah,
go.
beautiful women in Colombia, I will say.
Yeah, we're you know, we have pretty ladies. That is for sure. That is such a cool like heritage, like from both ends. That is so fantastic. So you went to Colombia too. What did that? I mean, that must have been also crazy for your identity. When did you go?
Yeah, I actually went around the same time. So I'm super thankful for Southwestern because it allowed me to fund traveling, which I never was able to do. But yeah, so I went to Israel for 10 days, like when I was a sophomore. And then I went to Colombia for a semester when I was a junior. So I lived in Medellin and got to
No.
travel to Cali and Jardín. And I also went to Colombia like a month ago where I went to like Santa Marta, and my parents actually live in Cartagena. So a lot of
Mm.
Colombia. I'm going to go there more frequently now that they live there too.
Bro, that's so awesome. Yo, we need to hang when I'm in Austin. We need to hang like Colombiano. We need to be like, "Claro," like, what's up? ¿Qué pues? That's what we need. Dude, Medellin is crazy. Like, it doesn't have the same history as you might have found in Israel, but the history it does have is, well, in Colombia in general, but Medellin especially is like, whoa, it's crazy
Mhm.
shit. Did you go see like any of the Pablo Escobar stuff?
No, I didn't. I am not a big fan of him, and my mom has
Yeah.
put some little nuggets in my mind, a little biases. So I guess I kind of refuse to go see, but I know a lot of tourists like to do it.
No, yeah, it's true. I've never. That's one city in Colombia I haven't really been to. Medellin. I was close to Medellin. We will be going there and just after Christmas with my wife because she wants to see Colombia, and dude, it's crazy. Like what that town is because of him. It's. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Terrible dude, but from the standpoint of just history of our country, it's such a crazy moment in the world. They made a TV show about it that made a ton of money. Like that's how
They
crazy it is.
did.
It's
Isn't it
so
funny too? Like the main guy in the show is Brazilian. Like he's not even Colombian, but he
yeah,
like
the guy that plays
lived.
Pablo. Yeah,
Yeah, he's Brazilian. Like he has like a Portuguese accent, like in the show.
yeah,
It's hilarious.
yeah, yeah, and that's only caught from like natural Spanish speakers and every Colombian. We were all like, "That's not paisa," which is what you call the accent from Medellin, right? But for people listening, they're like, "What the hell? That's a paisa. That's some bullshit." But I mean, he did do the role well, but that was one big gripe from the Colombians that was like, "Yo, what if you're gonna make the show about the one of the most notorious villains in the history of the world, let alone our country?" And That's like making a movie about the Holocaust and making Hitler like French, or like with a French accent or something. You're like, what? What are you
Okay, that would be
doing?
hilarious.
So maybe I should write that. That'd be a good joke for my stand-up comedy. That's the good stuff. Oh
That would be a
man.
good one for sure.
Yeah. Oh, but what about the food though? Did you eat the food? Oh my
Oh, the
god.
food's
I'm so
great.
jealous.
Yeah. I love the natural juices. I love buñuelos, which is like a cheese
Yeah.
ball. It's like a French.
What up, everyone? Off schedule story, really quick. The average agent at Cardinal Cedar Benefits earns about 5K per week. It's pretty badass. So, on that note, yo, ponies. Off schedule moment. Everybody loves Property Brothers. Some people for the looks, some for real estate. If you're the second or both, you should become a Property Brother or sister over at Southwestern Real Estate. Can't promise that you'll look good, but you'll sell a lot of houses. Okay, back to work.
Cheese ball. They're really good. Um, I feel like the fresh fruit that they have is just like none other, like lulo. So good.
Lulo's. How do you explain Lulo to someone? My wife's like, "What's Lulo? What does that translate to in English?" And I'm like, "Lulo. I don't know. It's just amazing. It's like kiwi meets pineapple. I don't even know."
Yeah. So good.
It's
So good.
Let me share this screen. We're gonna put this on the TV. On this. Look at that. Look at those buñuelos right there. Oh my god, dude! Look at this bandeja paisa. You had to have some of
Yes.
that, of course, because you're in Medellin.
Mhm.
That's like the
That's
best
also really
bandeja
good.
paisa in the world. Oh my gosh. Wow, I'm so jealous. So I'm dealing with a Colombian sister who is also a Jew, who's also a bookwoman. Like, how are we just now meeting? I regret just now. That's so cool. Damn, that's awesome. Well, congrats. I'm excited for your company. I know you're going to have a solid, I know book people are always going to end up finding a way. So I know that whenever it does happen, you're going to go and start your own company and it's going to be phenomenal. The tech sales is a cool space and it's such a fun, it's ever changing, environment, especially with what you're doing when it's like an app that's constantly updating and constantly changing. And so that's awesome, but I'm excited for your future.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump into some Southwestern shit. Is that cool?
Yeah, totally.
Let's rock. Okay. So let's go back. What year did you start? What was your first summer?
2016.
Oof, that was my last summer.
I
Interesting
know.
times. Interesting times. So, okay, so how the hell did you get into Southwestern? Who did it? How did it happen? Walk us through this journey of the recruitment side of your life.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of crazy. So my recruiter, her name is Becca Padilla. I don't know if you know Becca, but
I've heard the name.
she
I've heard the
is
name.
from Navarre, Florida. And it's crazy because I remember it was spring semester, my freshman year. And I guess Becca went into my bio class, which I ended up dropping, which is really funny. And I didn't take gen eds because I was a philosophy major and I came in with my associate's degree. So it's honestly like a stroke of luck and like a miracle that I even ended up in this class because I didn't even need this class and I dropped it. But I remember when they passed around the flyers, I was like, I hope I get this. Like I could use, I think they said like, oh, average student makes $7,000. And I was like, I hope I'm picked for this internship. Like I remember thinking like filling out the survey being like, oh my gosh, like I could use $7,000. Like that would be great to pay for school and food. But she called me towards the end of the year. It was like April, and I went to an info session, and everything about it I loved. I had no gripes about it. Visited my home, and my parents were like, "You sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yep." And then the rest is
Wow.
history.
That's so cool because some parents are very no, you're not doing that. No way. So it says a lot about your parents for them to be like, yeah, do it. Especially a Colombian mom. She's like, yeah, at least you're not in Bogota.
Oh, for sure. If I was selling door to door in Bogota, I should be like, hell no.
No. Or in America, yeah, South Chicago. Let's do it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you got recruited. Same stories, similar stories as myself, where it was like literally the week of finals that I got selected. So you get in. It's like towards the end of the year, and you go off to sales school from Gainesville. And how was that experience for you? I always like talking about this because the first summer experience, that first sales school experience, bananas, losing your cool card, running up the hill. How did it go for you?
Definitely was interesting. So, um, let's put it that way. I definitely came in as an underdog. Like when I was put into the program, I remember asking one of the other student managers after my summer, because I just, like the third day, I just didn't know my sales talk at all. I never fully learned my sales talk the whole summer, like because I came in so late and I just am really bad at like memorizing. All I knew was my sales talk, or not sales talk, sorry, my approach, my intro, and my demo. Like half of my demo, by the way. I literally made up the demo for the kids, like made it up. I was like, yeah, there's cool pictures, and like ended up being a top first year. I have no idea how. Oh yeah, and then the clothes, because you have to memorize
You
the
have to
clothes,
know the
right? That's
close. Yeah.
important. But the price build up, I like didn't. I made it up. Like I literally made it up. Um, but anyway, so I was like the underdog. And one of my student managers literally told me after the summer, he's like, yeah, I thought you were going to quit. And I didn't quit. I was so close to quitting. I literally called my
Oh,
parents. I was
really?
like, yeah, I was like, Dad, like, I don't know if this is for me. He's like, well, if you need anything, we'll like take you out. And um, I remember telling my roommate, who was also a top first year. Well, she was like, I think number two or three. She was number three, Juliana Suplicy. And she's like, no, Aimee, we're not going to quit. And she was like doing so well and killing it. And I was like, okay, fine, we're not going to quit. Or I'm not going to quit. So I'm very happy I didn't. And then I remember the next day I got like the top dog for the approaches when I didn't know anything. And I was super proud of myself. And I was like, yeah, I'm a big dog. So then I
That's
stayed.
cool. There's so much about that, what you just said. First of all, the power of recognition. That's something that a lot of companies could probably learn from Southwestern. Not sometimes it can be a bad thing, but and oftentimes it's not. It's more of a good thing where it's the first time people feel seen, like really seen, and it's the first time they're made to feel powerful, in their life. And
Yeah.
so that just goes such a long way to help someone feel like they're part of something bigger, which that's how you feel like when you're in Southwestern. At least I did. I don't know if you had the same experience, but yeah, damn, that's wild. So was there? I mean, when you called your dad, you're like, I don't know if I want to do this. You thought about your roommate. Was there any other part of your inside of you that was like, no, you got to stay. You got to finish. Was there anything else that like really tugged you along, or what else did you hang on to?
I think I was more considering leaving just because I thought I wasn't going to do well. And I was just
Oh,
really scared that I was, going to fail and whatnot. But um, like, I don't know. I think one thing that my dad said to me that it made me not want to quit is he was like, yeah, I could never do that. And like coming from my dad saying that, I
whoa.
was like, whoa, like if he says he can't do that, like I got to do this, you know? So him saying that and then my roommate just being, just a badass. It was just, and then the recognition, I was like, okay, I'm not quitting. I'm going to stay. I'm going to make a lot of money.
That's cool. That's empowering when you're like, my dad's telling me this is hard because he's not telling you not to do it. He's just validating how difficult it is.
Yeah. Yeah. He was
And
like, I would never do that. And I was like, damn.
now
Okay.
I got to.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you pretty close to your dad? Sounds like you guys are
Yeah.
like
We're
tight.
close.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's very cool. I love that. I love that reasoning. Where did you go? Where the hell were you that first summer?
I was in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and I was a walker. So that's another reason I considered quitting because
Oh,
I was walking. And it's funny because I run now. And like, I remember that first week, it's kind of gross, but like, well, I remember like looking on my phone, like I had walked 13 miles and like I can run like, I've run 13 miles in like one go, which is like funny because I was like, oh, that's so much. But I remember like the first week I didn't have a bike and my foot like literally had like imprints from like my socks because like I walk so much. So thank you,
oh
Becca,
my
for getting me a
god.
bike because I don't know what I would have done without that bike. But definitely
That's
walked a lot.
wild. That's wild. Williamsport. I'm looking it up on the map right now. That's actually pretty close to where I was selling my third summer. That's kind of funny. Wow. Damn, and walkers are. Hats off to you as a walker, even as a biker. Like, damn, dude, that's. I mean, the amount of working out. Like, how many calories were you burning? You must have been burning like 5,000 calories a day. I mean, it must have been nuts.
You know, it's shocking. I gained weight that summer, which is like crazy because I was a walker and I like don't like my weight doesn't really fluctuate. So it was just so weird that like I walked an incredible amount, but yet I gained weight. I was like, what? How is this
Wow,
possible?
that is
But maybe it was
bananas.
muscle.
Oh, you know what though? That's probably correct. You just got your legs just got like you ever seen like soccer people playing like legs
Mhm.
their legs they're just massive. That's probably what happened. That's a lot of meat that goes around that thigh. You know what I'm saying? If you're walking all day up driveways and stairs and with a backpack on, damn, that makes sense. Jeez, I lost weight my first summer. I think I lost like seven. I think I lost 7 pounds in the first half of the summer, and then another four. And actually, I lost more because of deliveries. Like during delivery week, it was brutal. But I've never heard of gaining weight. That's damn. And you stayed in Pennsylvania the whole summer? Was it like a okay, that's good. And how did it go? There's four different ways it can go. It starts off horrible and it stays horrible. It starts off horrible and it gets awesome. Or it starts off great and it gets horrible. Or it starts off great and it stays great. So which of the four was your story? A, B, C, or D?
I think that it started out like okay. And then I had like a 6 customer day my second week. And I remember like my DSM, which my DSM was John Stewart. And John Stewart, whoever knows him, he's a very stoic guy. Or he's just like, he gives off stoicism. And I remember like, so he just like doesn't ever like show emotion, like, which is great because it kind of intimidates you and makes you want to impress him. But then he was like, you know what, Aimee, I'm proud of you. And I was like, wow, John said that? Like, that's crazy. This man doesn't show emotion. He's proud of me. All right. Um, but yeah, so I had a
Oh,
6 customer day. I was like super proud of myself. But I will say, like, it's interesting because as a walker, I don't know about other people their first summer, but I like loved like um, lower income, like kind of ghetto neighborhoods, which is crazy because like as an adult, like you know, being post Southwestern, I would like never like I would
yeah.
like there were like play like situations where I definitely feel like I was probably like in danger and like actually have some funny stories about that.
Yes.
So
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Or is that a ponytail? Is that what you're saying?
oh no, I have one that's actually kind of interesting.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So there was this one house, it was in the city. So like in Pennsylvania, they had a lot of duplexes, and they're like these cool, like looking Victorian duplexes. So I remember knocking on this door and asking for pre-approach, being like, "Yeah, where the kids at?" Um, and the lady's like, because that's what it is, right? You're like not
Yeah.
creepily asking where the kids
It's
are.
it's kind of like painting an egg on a paper without painting the egg. You just kind of color in the outside of it because the egg is white, so you just got to fill in the outside spots. But really, it's an egg, and really, you're asking where are the kids?
Where are the children so I can sell them education?
You
I
know what I
want to
mean? Though
know.
it's like, does that make sense? What I'm saying? Like, it's like we're going all the way around just to avoid like, hey,
We're
I'm
coloring
talking.
the egg, but it's an egg.
Yeah, it's like
It's still an
we're drawing the table that it's on, and we're drawing the carton around it. We're not drawing the egg. But I'm
egg.
asking about the egg.
The egg's
Where are
in there
children?
though. Where
Where
are the
are children?
children? Where are the
Jesus.
children?
Oh
Not
my
to be
god.
creepy, but what
Yeah.
kind of sometimes it's
And we
creepy.
and we probably shouldn't share what that method is because some person's gonna get that and we don't know what power that can have on the wrong hands. You know what I'm
In
saying?
the wrong
It's like
hands.
yeah, it's like the remote for a nuclear bomb. It's just like let's just leave it with people who we know can handle this because damn, that's a creepy way to find out where children live.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So not sharing.
Anyway, anyway, so you're getting pre-approach and asking about where kids live.
Yes, where the children are. And so anyway, this lady's like, don't go next door. And I was like, oh, why do they have kids? She's like, no, they're not gonna buy from you. Or she's like, oh well, they won't buy from you, whatever. And anybody in Southwestern knows that when someone says that, they always buy. It's
You
almost
go to that
like
door.
you go to that door and they always buy. Like, I don't know why, but every single time someone would like do that for me,
100%.
they would always buy.
100%.
So anyway, I go to the door and it's like this family and they're super fun and they're just super lighthearted. And I remember they bought a 4 book and I was like, dang, like whenever you sell a 4 book as like a first year, you're like, I'm the shit. Like that's so cool. Well, anyway, they bought a 4 book, half down, whatever. And I came to deliver the books at the end of the summer. And I remember I called them and they, I think, basically said that they had moved. So I went to their house and it was like in this area that wasn't, super great. But anyway, I knocked and it's the grandma, and the grandma's like, oh, like I heard that you're here to deliver these books. I was like, yeah, I mean, they paid half, so I need the other half. She's like, oh, the mom's in jail. So she went to jail.
Son of a bitch.
She went to jail. And I was like, for what? And I know like in the movies, they tell you like, don't ever ask like why people went to jail. It's like forbidden. So she wouldn't tell me. And she's like, none of your business. I was like, okay. She's like, so you're going to deliver the books or what? And I was like, well, yeah, there's another half. She's like, well, she's in jail. So like, it's not happening. I was like, okay, here's some math. Yeah, I think you guys might like math.
Because she's probably in jail for meth, but here's some math. Thematics.
Yeah. Here's some math. Yeah, I was like, it's probably like drugs or something, but I don't want to make assumptions. But anyway, they were so fun and cool, and they were still like they still like pot. So anyway, that's my little story about Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Let's go. I was just recording with Stacy Lauren, and she was talking about just that. It's funny how this has come up 3 episodes in a row, but about the idea that people are a little different at the end of the summer when that happens. Like there was families that you come back and they're divorced. You're like, so
that happened
do
to
you
me.
want another set? Really?
Yeah, I had that where they bought, and it's always like the ones that buy like the biggest things too, that have like a chaotic like something.
The whole package. Yeah.
They like bought like the whole kids set, like all the kids books. And then I went there and like the wife wasn't there anymore and they were divorced. I was like, wait, that's so sad. But yeah, crazy how a lot can happen in 3 months.
And then you call and you go, hey, do you want a set? So they have a set at your house. So they don't always want to go to dad's place. And she's like, yes. And you double your units. That's how you hit growth.
Should have done that.
Rookie. Literally, you are a rookie. So it's okay. It happens. And so the funny part about that too is that like sometimes crazy things I've mentioned, this is the second episode I'll mention this in a row, but I have to because it's crazy not to mention this story. This always makes you think of this. Naomi James, you know who that is? Naomi James. You might have been telling around your time. She's from Florida, but I think she was in Florida State. I can't remember. Anyway, she had a family. This is kind of gruesome, so warning. But she had a family where the family bought. Kid was kind of like weird, and then I would go to the episode and check out the full story. But she comes back and the house has yellow caution tape around it, and like, long story short, the kid ends up like murdering his stepdad or his stepmom and dad or whatever, the parents, and like just it had just happened. And we like on the episode we like looked up the article and the news report of it, and it was like, yeah, you win the cake for most weird situation after coming back at the end of the summer for sure. That's crazy. It was bananas.
Oh my god, that's bananas.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? It's like I thought the divorced family was bad.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, it was bananas.
Did they like buy the books like in full or like half?
Yeah,
or
they had bought, and it was a situation. I think I might be this is where I start maybe misquoting it, which is I always recommend go check it out. Naomi James. I think it was in April that we recorded, but it was something along the lines of the kid was totally not into them, and the parents were like, hey, we know this will help, and they were just trying to help him out because he was very visibly kind of like the weird kid. Or it was the other way around where he loved them, and the parents were like, you wouldn't use them, you're not into school, like, and then like it ends up working out that they believe him, and then they bought one of them, whatever. But point is, they bought the full set, and she comes back and
Wow.
delivers, and yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy. And the way she found out was because it had just happened, and so she left, and someone was like keeping an eye on the house, and so they pulled her over, and we're like, "Why were you there?" She's like trying to explain, and he's like, "Have you not heard?" She's like, "What? No," because your deliveries, you're like you kind of lose track of what's going on in your town once you kind of go into that mode. You're just kind of like, I don't give a shit. I want to get all these books out of my car for today, do it again tomorrow for the next week, and then go home. You're just like, I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it was crazy, nuts. Yeah, the nuts. Anyway, so that's fun. We we go through your Pennsylvania summer, and then why did you decide to come back? It's always curious to me. Did you know you want to? Do you think that you had to really think about it, or were you like, this was awesome, I'm in? How did it go for you?
I think I like after the summer, I was like, man, that was really hard. I don't know. But then I heard how rewarding it would be to come back as a manager and all the
Yeah.
different skills that you would learn through leadership, and also wanted to improve my summer. So yeah, that's why I came back.
And then there you go. Where'd you go number 2 and 3?
Mississippi.
Oh shit. That's a whole different
Yeah.
world too. We've had people on the show who sold in Mississippi, and it's a trip.
Oh, it's fun. Mississippi was definitely fun. I liked Mississippi.
Wow. Was that your favorite turf?
I think so, just because it was weird. Like people there are weird
How
in
so?
Mississippi. Um, they're just like blatantly, like not everybody, but um okay, well, there's just like a lot that's like going on in Mississippi. Like, well, one, there's like a huge like wealth disparity gap. And then two, like
Yeah.
it's segregated.
I've
And
also heard
like
this.
people are
Yes.
like blatantly racist, like to you. Like, I mean, I am, a like appearing white person. So like people say
Yeah.
things to me and I'm like, that's like not PC. Like that's not
Oh
okay
my
to say that.
god. And you
That
live in
is
Austin
not
too.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. Like some people would say like the most wackadoo shit to you. Oh,
What is
and
some of the craziest shit you heard? Like, you don't have to say the actual words, but you can kind of like allude to what it meant. Like what like
um like like for example, there was one time where my car broke down, and like me and my roommate at the time, she's like also Hispanic. We like go with this tow truck guy, and this lady's like, "Oh, like, are you gonna feel safe?" And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why wouldn't we feel safe?" Like I don't know. People there are weird. Um,
yeah.
like no, they're just like back so fucking backwards. Like it's just ridiculous. But yeah, and then there's like a lot of meth too. I met people that like were clearly Is there a
Wow.
curse counter?
Oh, we just have a fuck counter. We've said I said it once and you said it once, so I put it up.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
I
too.
said fuck a
Okay.
third time, and there's the fourth, so there it is.
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's on the screen. Sorry to throw you off there.
Oh yeah,
I
no
forgot to let
worries.
you know about the fuck counter. Oh.
Oh yeah, no worries. Just keeps going up.
It's really
Okay,
fun.
yeah.
So they're just super racist. This reminds me of also Delissa Allen sold, and she sold to a in town where there was like active KKK members, and she's black. So it's like,
Oh my God.
holy shit, man! Go check out that episode too, man. We tell you some crazy
Wait,
shit on the
that's
show.
actually insane. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's crazy,
It,
and
wow.
and as a brown man, there was a couple of because I'm obviously as a Colombian, I'm not, especially in the summer when you're getting that sun in your face, you get dark, and it's like sometimes you'd get some. Not often. Upstate New York wasn't as bad, but I bet you if I went to Mississippi, I'd be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's so
Or like
crazy.
they will threaten like you with guns. Like that actually happened to
Yeah,
me. Like even as a woman, like they were like, "Now come on my property," or whatever. And you're like, okay. You would get arrested, and that would be first degree murder. But okay.
They have a. I think they just removed this. I want to Google this, make sure I'm saying this right, because this is actually gonna be a fun fact. This is our fun fact of the day. Mississippi. I'm pretty sure Mississippi had a Confederate flag in their state flag up until like I think a year ago. Yeah, January 2021. They had a. It was I saw it on the John Oliver show where like part of their state flag had the Confederate flag on it. That's the official state flag in 2020 had a Confederate flag on it.
No, that's
They,
bananas.
they weren't trying to hide it at all. They were like, "Yep, we love America, guns, and white people." Ting. Like that's
Basically. Yeah.
and like you say, it wasn't every white person, but when it was like, whoa, that's kind of like
Yeah.
this is gonna be divisive, but whatever. It's kind of like when people are like, I'm not racist if I voted for Trump. No. I'm not saying that. You could have voted for Trump. I'm not saying you're racist. I will tell you though, every racist person that there is, they voted for Trump. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean you are. It's kind of like I'm Colombian. It doesn't mean I'm a drug dealer, but I can tell you a lot of drug dealers in the '90s, especially. Ooh, you bet your ass they were Colombians. Like, yeah, it's not weird. It's how it happens. It's true. So I'm not saying you're racist, Mr. White person that voted for Trump, but I am saying one of your friends are. Oh man,
Oh, for sure. For
that's
sure.
crazy. And then summer number three, where'd you go?
I went to Tennessee. I went
Oh,
to
trippy.
West Tennessee by like Arkansas.
In Memphis area, like north of Memphis and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a beautiful part of Tennessee too. Wow, it must have been trippy to be right so close to the company. How far away from the company were you?
I think we were like 3 hours. So pretty close.
Yeah, we've had people on the show who sold like in Nashville, like in that, like just next to the company. It's just like, whoa, that's got
Yeah.
to be weird.
I actually lived, or not lit. Well, I visited a friend of mine from books that lives in Nashville, and I was just like running around their home, and I met a book person selling in their neighborhood.
That's trippy.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
was
fun.
like, wait, that's so cool. And then I was like telling her, I was like, yeah, if after, and she was a walker. So I was like, oh, if after 9 o'clock, like you're nearby, like you should come to this house because there's book kids there and like they'll give you food and water and whatever.
And a
So
ride, probably.
yeah. So yeah, I gave her my
That's
number. She never
awesome.
texted me, but I was like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's. You should text her now and be like, "Oh, you never got her number, probably, but if she ever texts you, you should let me know. Maybe we'll we'll hunt her down and be like, hey, we talked about you on the show. Um, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, sweet. You want to jump into some ponytails?
sure. Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, so just for people who don't know, ponytails is when we reserve some of our favorite, best, funniest, craziest, whatever our guest chooses stories, and we save them for you for this last 10-15 minutes. So it doesn't have to be 10-15 minutes. It doesn't. On either side, we've had them be 45 minutes and we've had them be 10 exactly, or 5 or whatever. But the mic is yours, Aimee. Whatever you want to share. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4 stories. I don't care. It's all you know. Go for it.
Hmm. What's been a really good one? Because that might give me some
Okay, I'll
ideas.
give you some ideas. Okay. Oh, maybe I should mention this for you and for the guests or for the people listening. So I'll give you a couple. One, Brandon Q one time got arrested and still knock knock. Last off schedule story, guys. I want to tell you about my good friend Alex Black. I used to work over at EnLight.Energy, and it was a pleasure working with him and that entire company. Definitely would recommend you guys check out what that opportunity is. It was a great way to make money, and it was one of the most rewarding experiences I had to help people take ownership of their power. It's pretty cool. So, on that note, let's finish up this episode. Bye, Pit Sizzler. That was pretty fun. We've had people tell us about their biggest customer ever, like the true pony. That makes
Hmm.
sense. People who have done crazy shit on Bizzler. uh, that kind of stuff. One of them, a couple of them have been about how people met their spouse, how they were the ponies, because how people get married after they sell books. So they told us about how they met their spouse and how awesome it was, and then the thing, and then they have babies, and it's so cute. We've had, which is great, love those stories. We've had stories about the time you almost quit, but you didn't, although we kind of already talked about that. We've had stories about how people who enjoyed the process and how they grew and how everything changed their life, and then there was a time where they was really confronted with some truth about themselves, and then they went and hit 10 million units. And so it could be any of those. It could be short and sweet. One time somebody was caught in the woods making out with someone in the woods, and a bear showed up. That was a fun story in June that we got
Oh
from
my
Zinner.
gosh.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's been it's just whatever. It could be the fun. It could be just final closing thoughts on what Southwestern's been to you in your life. Whatever you want. Even if it could be short and
Okay.
sweet, it could be long and detailed. It's your call.
Okay. I have a couple that I'm thinking of, but there was one that I thought was interesting. Well, it was like a culmination of stories, but they're all within the same like group of people. Um, so there was one time where I was selling, there was a big Amish community, and
Oh yeah.
they're so fun. I love the Amish. Like they're the best. They like make you want like to have Amish friends. Like they're so cool.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
Oh
like, you can like sit in my car if you want or not, or I'll sit in your buggy. Um, but yeah, so like I had this Amish community, and like once you know like one Amish person, like they all know that one person because they're so tight knit. So
yeah.
the first family that I sold to that was Amish, I just remember like sitting down. Oh, this is actually like, well, one, it's gonna be like wholesome, and then two, it's gonna be like kind of interesting. But so
Okay.
the first time I sat with this Amish family that bought, I remember sitting down with them, and they like basically told me that I was a blessing, and they like started crying because they had lost one of their children to leukemia earlier that year. And
Wow.
it was definitely like we cried together. Like it was like, and they were like, I'm so happy that you brought like these Bibles, which is kind of ironic because I'm Jewish, but um like we were which I'll get to like the ironic parts, but anyways, this is like not sad. But
You don't need to. That's okay.
anyway,
That is ironic.
I sold like so many Bibles to these Amish people, and I'm Jewish. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm
Jesus.
like selling
Jesus.
like the word of
Yeah.
Jesus. But anyway,
Jesus.
hey,
There you
Jesus was
go.
a Jew, so
He was the greatest of all time, according to
yeah, the
some.
greatest Jew of
Huge
all
in some
time.
communities.
It's
He's
huge
the
and
goat
so
of the Jews.
good. The Jew. But anyway,
He's the most Jewy of Jews.
the mystery of Jews. Yeah, literally.
Huge in
Um,
some community.
you could say he's like, a messiah of sorts.
You could
Uh,
say people know him
people
or
know
claim
him.
to, and
They know his
he's
name.
mad when he's mad when they don't know him.
Yes.
Wow,
People
there's
know
a
Jesus.
lot of jokes. There's still a lot of jokes here. Anyway,
Okay, well, anyway, it was very sad, and I cried with them.
sorry.
And
I'm sorry.
honestly,
I
just
shouldn't
listening
be
to you like
laughing at
so
children
wholesome.
children dying of leukemia. I'm out here making fun of the Savior, who I believe in. By the way, I'm a Christian, but like you gotta laugh at the world. Number seven,
Yeah,
I will
it
laugh the
was
world.
exactly. Got a reference og there.
Ah,
Um, but
let's
anyway,
go.
it was very impactful because I had also lost my best friend that year. So it was very.
Yeah,
I almost felt like it was meant to be that like I met them that same summer, um, because like they lost their child to leukemia, and then like I lost someone very close to me. So it just was very impactful for me, and it made me feel like there's like maybe a higher power, a higher energy, or something. Like it just was like a crazy coincidence, and it was just like a really wonderful like. I mean, it was very sad like to share that and then feel their emotion, but I feel like I made an impact
wow.
on their life, and they made an impact on my life. So it was very wonderful.
Yeah, they won't forget you. That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Wow. That's so cool.
Mhm.
That's great. That's a great ponytail. You picked a good one. You said you had a couple more, but that's a solid start. Let's yes.
Coming through. So yeah, so I sold like to a bunch of Amish families that summer. Probably sold to almost every Amish person in that community, by the way. Except for two, because they were like, nah, like we got our own Bibles. And I was like, okay, you do you, like you have your own Bibles, cool. But there was this other
Wow.
family that uh they like the mom was home, the mom's always home, right? The dad's working, and then I came after 5. No, actually, just kidding. I came super early in the morning because they're up at like 6 a.m. So I came, I
Yeah.
think, at like 7:30. That's what it was. It was like rise and shine, like
Early
crack,
knock.
early knock, yeah.
Let's
And
go.
I sat with them, and like the dad did all the talking. I like at first didn't think they were gonna buy because they're super stoic. And the dad like randomly, like as I'm like doing the price build up, he's like, so do you believe in Jesus? I was like, oh my
Oh
God, what do
my
I
god.
say? I'm Jewish, lol. Like I was like, yeah, I believe in Jesus. Jesus is the man. And then he's like, okay, like, are you Christian? I was like, yeah.
Ooh,
I
which is
was
like
like,
a no on across all of the things. Oh, thank you. My wife's the goat. I got
oh
some of my
yes.
hum. Hell yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the sacrilegious, crime that you've just done
Well, because I was
upon the
like, if I
eyes
tell
of
them I'm
Allah and Yahweh and all of them.
I was like, if I tell them I'm Jewish, they're gonna be like, she's going to hell or something, or like they won't buy. I was like, I don't want to like
Or they'll
hurt their
try to save
feelings,
you.
or they'll try
Yeah,
to
they'll
save
try,
me.
which not everybody does. If you were like in Utah at the Mormon community, you would have never left. But yeah, so I understand. We're not nobody's judging you for this choice. It's funny though.
It was
Okay,
very
so
funny. Like I look back on it and I'm like, I was selling Bibles to like Christian families, and yet like I was Jewish, and also an Amish family asked me if I was Christian. I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh well. But anyway, so it gets wholesome. So the dad, they had really little kids. So apparently, like Amish people, like they learn Dutch before they learn English up until I think the age of
yes.
5. I learned this through the books.
Mhm.
And they were speaking to each other in Dutch, which I don't speak Dutch. And the dad's like, we're gonna buy. And the little kid hands him a $20 bill. And he's like, I also want to tip you. So he tips me. And then he was like, can we pray for you? And I was like, yeah. And
That's
like we
sweet.
sat down as a family and they prayed for me. They were like, we hope Aimee has a wonderful summer. Please, God, look after her. Please, like, take care of her on her journey in life. And thank you so much for having her greet us on our path through these Bibles. We're so grateful for
Wow.
Aimee. We wish her the best. And I like
Wow.
was crying. It was like so beautiful. I love Amish people. Like, anyway, I had such amazing experiences
Yeah.
with Amish. Like, they are the best.
Yeah. And the
Um,
good news is they'll never see this. So they'll never know that you're not Christian.
they'll never know. They'll never know. Hey, it's a white lie that didn't hurt anybody, right?
Yeah, but not a white Jesus lie. It was
No.
actually no, it was a white Jesus lie. It's all good. Oh, there's so many jokes here. I just love it.
Yeah.
I love stand up. So I'm out here with my woodiness. Let's go. I'm trying to be anyway. That's so cool. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of that. The Amish. The Amish. Hell yeah. To the Amish.
Mhm. To the Amish, the best.
Cheers. All
Cheers.
right. Now is there a third one here?
I thought that there was one.
That's okay.
Um,
Let me
there
ask
was
you this.
one. Oh, go
Oh no,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead. You go ahead. Way
Okay.
more interesting.
There's honestly there's so many, but there was one where I sold, it was in Mississippi, and I sold in this trailer park. And like I guess in the beginning of my summers, I like had a habit of going to like lower income. Well, I mean, I guess everybody does that, but I like
Yeah.
you know how they say like, oh, go to the police station and be like, oh, where would you tell your daughter to not go if you had a daughter? I never did that, so I just went wherever, which was not a good idea because yeah. Anyway, so I went to this trailer park in Mississippi, and I had so many customers there. which is crazy. I even had a family that bought like almost everything, which they were so cool. They at first just bought the kids' books. No, sorry, they bought the 4 book, came back at the end of the summer, and then I showed them like our brochure, like to give them with the books. And they're like, "Wait, you have more?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, we'll take them all." And I'm like, "What? You guys like live in a trailer park, and like not a very nice trailer park either. It was just like, anyway, that's not even the point." So, well, anyway, I had a lot of customers in this trailer park, and there's this one trailer I go to, and this lady, like, like Dare, right? When you take Dare and they show you
Like
pictures of,
drugs and alcohol resistance education or something. Are they talking about?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
uh-huh,
yeah. With the shirts, yeah.
yep, yeah. I like took Dare very seriously, and I like looked at the pictures of like the people on like meth and like whatever. This lady literally looks like one of those pictures. Like this lady like had like the crazy skin and like the no teeth, and her kids were running around like naked in this like trailer park, and I was like, "You like need books?"
Straight
And
up meth.
straight up meth, like looked like she was a meth head. And she's like, "We don't need any education." I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I like sold to this family out towards the end of the summer that like wasn't interested, but then messaged me on Facebook. And she basically was like, "Yeah, like I'm really surprised you went to that one trailer park I saw, like, because we have a good friend that lives near there on your Facebook page, but like that has a lot of meth busts there." And then there was actually like a house kind of near where I sold that blew up because it was a meth lab. And it was
Dude,
like,
dude, dude. Yeah, that happened to be my first summer. I've told this story on
really?
the show before, so yeah, people have to just scroll back. But yes, that's exact. I was in the house, not when it blew up on a Friday. Long story short, on Friday I was like sitting down with them, and then I drove back Monday to get further into my territory, and it was like burnt down, and I had to like pull over and ask the neighbor, like, "What happened here?" They're like, "Oh, yeah, it turns out it was a meth lab. It blew up over the weekend."
Oh my gosh.
Crazy, crazy shit.
Happy you weren't in the house when it burned down.
I know, but that would have been a cool way to go out. What happened to him? He was selling books to meth people. As a Colombian, that's like I feel like there's some sort of space for me in heaven. For, I died a martyr or something.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so bananas. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, see, these are good ponytails right here. Yeah. Mm, mm.
Yeah, they all have to do with religion or drugs, but it's fine.
Or sometimes they're the same thing. Um, on a side note, I'll do some rapid fire questions with you, and then we'll wrap up. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
It'll be like a minute. Here we go. Question number one. What was your oh we already said it was Mississippi. What is your favorite kind of turf? Is it country? Is it since you're a walker, or you kind of closer to suburbs? What was your favorite type of turf?
Country for sure.
Mm-hmm. Country's the best. We almost always get that, but I'm glad I asked. Some people say big brick, but I think a mixture of big brick and country, like rich people country. Oh yeah, money. Okay. Favorite advanced sales tape?
Roger's site.
Yes, and he's been on the show. Highly recommend that episode as well. It's really good. Yeah, Roger Sipes the man. Hell yeah, hell yeah. What would you say? Would you say you stayed too many summers, or just enough? Was 3 good, or you think you should have done 4, or should you only have done 1?
I think I would have done one more. I think I should have done one more. But you know, the world happens for a reason. But it would have been nice
Yeah,
to do one more.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Cool. Well, that concludes the rapid fire questions. Any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, other than super grateful to be here. This was fun, enjoyable. I finished all my wine.
Hell
Feeling
yeah.
good.
Sweet. Well, thank you for being here. I had a blast. This is cool. I like when episodes are just chill. It's a good vibe. Sometimes we get into like some like deep, crazy conversations, and I'm like, I can't do this. It's a lot, but I like when they're chill. So appreciate you for being on here. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Aimee. How can people get a hold of you if they want to learn about how to work at Upside, or if maybe they want to get into tech sales, or they want to follow your travels? How can people find you?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's my first name, Aimee, Aimee. Wass, Wass. You can message me on there or follow me.
Hell yeah. We'll give you a follow too on the show once we're done here. Sweet. Good stuff. Well, guys, thank you so much. My name is Andres Gamboa, and we will catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.